So in this session, we'll be dealing with the next concept, that is the equivalent resistance and reactance. Okay, equivalent resistance and reactance. So before starting this concept, I would like to say that how this topic is the most important, and what is its need and requirement of interaction. Okay, so normally we know that how is the uh, equivalent circuit of a transformer. So we are discussing a topic, something called as equivalent equivalent resistance and reactance. Equivalent resistance and reactance. Okay, so now let me say that. Let me have an equivalent circuit diagram first. So I know that in order to represent a transformer, I'll be having a primary winding. I'll be having a primary winding. Okay. Then I'll be having a magnetic coupling, which has been shown with the help of these two lines. Then I'll be having one more winding called as a secondary winding. Okay, so this is how I'm representing my transformer. The primary winding, the secondary winding, and this is a magnetic coupling between the both primary and secondary. Now I know that in case of the primary winding, this winding is having some internal resistance. The primary winding is having some internal resistance. So this internal resistance, it has been shown with the help of some resistance in series. Then since there is a concept of leakage flux where the flux links only with the primary and that flux don't link with the secondary, so we call it as a leakage flux. So that leakage flux is being shown with the help of some reactance. So this is my R1, this is my X1, and the circuit is being excited with the help of an AC voltage source. Let me call it as a V1. Let me call it as a V1. Similarly, I'll be having a resistance of the secondary winding, which is being shown by some resistance over here. So I can say this as R2. And since there is a small amount of leakage flux which links only with the secondary winding, so that is being represented by a reactance called as X2. And let me say that there is some amount of load onto my secondary winding. So what kind of a load? Let me not speak about it. Let us assume it's a black box. We don't have information towards the same. Let the load be a resistive load or an inductive load or a capacitive load. So will not bring much difference in terms of the loads. Okay. Now what is that we are going to do in this particular circuit is, so as you know that this is a simple electrical circuit wherein these are representing two electrical circuits. One a complete primary circuit, one more a secondary circuit. So as you know that in case of this transformer, both primary and secondary, they are electrically isolated. There is no connection between these two circuits. Electrically there is no any connection. But these two circuits, they are coupled magnetically with the help of a flux. They are coupled magnetically with the help of a flux. So now, what I want to do is, when I want to analyze this complete component as a transformer, when I want to analyze this complete component as a transformer, I need to make certain changes, such as I can converge it as a one circuit. I hope my statement is clear to you now. I'm very straightforward saying that this is a primary circuit, which is one different electrical circuit. This is a secondary circuit, which is completely something different circuit. Electrically, these are two different circuits. Now, if I want to analyze this, the analysis cannot be performed because these two are different electrical circuits. The two circuits are electrically isolated. So in order to perform any analysis, what I should do, I should somehow make these components come onto the primary, or make somehow these primary components to come on secondary, so that they resemble only one particular circuit, either only primary or only secondary. I know it is something hypothetical, but the thing is that without which I cannot make a proper analysis of this transformer. Okay, so now what we'll be doing over here is, here we'll be discussing about a process, a procedure, how I can transfer, a secondary component to primary, or if at all if there is a requirement in order to transfer any primary component to secondary, then how to do that. So we'll be learning about this into this particular topic. Okay, so let me start like this, saying that introducing you the components of this particular circuit. Here V1 is talking about the AC voltage which is being excited on the primary winding. R1 is the resistance of the primary winding. X1 is the leakage reactance of the primary winding. R2 is the resistance of secondary winding. X2 is the leakage reactance of the secondary winding. This is my load, right? So when I'm going to excite the primary winding with the help of a AC voltage source V1, since the circuit is a closed circuit, I'll be getting a primary current I1. So this primary current I1, when it is flows through winding, it produces a flux. First, it links with itself and hence produces a self-induced EMF, E1. So part of this flux, it links with the secondary. So at that time, it produces a one more EMF called as mutually induced EMF. So because of this voltage, because of this EMF, there will be some current in the circuit because it's a closed loop. So that current, we call it as a secondary current, or the current I2. We call it a secondary current, or the current I2. So this is how is my circuit. This is how is my circuit. And more importantly, that you people should recall what we have discussed prior is nothing but a transformation ratio. A very important topic, transformation ratio. So as we have already discussed about this transformation ratio, wherein we have defined transformation ratio as some constant K, which is equals to V2 by V1, which is equals to E2 by E1, which is equals to N2 by N1. But when it comes to the ratio of current, it is reverse. It is I1 by I2. So this you have to remember in this aspect. So this is a very, very important equation in order to understand the concept of equivalent circuit of transformers. We are going to use these equations to a very great extent. Okay, so now let me say that the total copper loss that occurs into both primary winding and secondary winding of transformer is been given by, so total copper loss in a transformer is given by, okay. Now total copper loss in the sense what? Since I know that primary winding is made up of copper, secondary winding is also made up of with copper. Now since it is made up of copper, so since it will be having some internal resistance which is being resembled by R1 and R2. So when some amount of current flows to this resistance, what happens? I square R loss takes place, because when current flows through a resistance, it will dissipate the power in terms of heat, and that heat loss is being given by I1 square R1. Similarly, I2 square R2. So I can say that the total copper loss, in a transformer is given by copper loss in primary winding plus copper loss in secondary winding. Copper loss in primary winding plus copper loss in secondary winding. So copper loss in primary winding is being given by, so the current that is flowing through the resistance is nothing but I1. So it is I1 square R1 plus the copper loss in a secondary winding is being given by I2 square R2. I2 square R2. Now it means I can compute this copper loss in primary winding separately and copper loss in secondary winding separately. But now, what is that I want is, I don't want the two different circuits. I want this copper loss to be something dependent, or I want something to be identified on one particular circuit. So now let me say that what is my intention. My intention is, I don't want my resistance R2 in the secondary winding. I want this resistance R2 to come onto the primary side. I want to transfer the resistance from secondary circuit to the primary circuit. I want to have this kind of a transition. Now to have that transition, let me say that R2 dash is a resistance which is seen on primary. What is R2 basically? R2 is a resistance of secondary winding. What is R2 dash? R2 dash is nothing but it is the resistance of the secondary winding as seen for primary. R2 dash is what? R2 dash is called as resistance of secondary winding, as seen from primary. It means what? It is actually the secondary resistance, but I am seeing this secondary resistance from primary side. Okay, is it clear? Similarly, I would like to introduce you one more term, something called as X2 dash. What is X2 dash? X2 dash indicates that it is the reactance. Of secondary winding as seen from primary. Now, as one of our friend is asking, sir, why we are doing like this? Then I need to say to my student, saying that since primary circuit is nowhere electrically connected to secondary circuit, as I said you, both primary circuit and secondary circuit, they are electrically isolated. So there is no connection between them. So this is a primary, this is secondary, right? So electrically there is no any connection. So they are isolated. Now, if at all if this is the case, then I cannot perform any mathematical analysis. Yes or no? I can perform a mathematical analysis if all the components of the circuit are there in one closed loop. I hope my statement is clear to you. So since this is one separate circuit, I am unable to make any mathematical analysis. So to make the mathematical analysis, what I should do, I should either transfer secondary components to the primary side or transfer primary components to secondary, so that all the circuit components will be in your one circuit itself. It will be there in your one circuit itself. For example, let me draw the diagram so that we come to understand. In the same transformer circuit, so let me say this is your primary winding, this is your secondary winding. So what is that I am trying to do over here is, I am trying to transfer this primary components to secondary. So it means what now? Already I am having R1, X1 over here. Agreed? It is there. Now since I am transferring your secondary resistance R2 to the primary, now your circuit becomes like this, R2 dash. Similarly, you are also transferring the X2 from secondary to primary. So you call this as X2 dash. So this will be as this. So this will be having a supply voltage V1. Okay, so there will be some amount of load onto the secondary. So you can see here there is no secondary parameters. Your R2 and X2 have gone. Where they have gone? They have just been, I can say that, or they are able to make some transition from secondary side to primary side. But making this kind of a transition, what is the simplicity? All the resistance have come in one circuit. All the reactants have come in one circuit. Do you agree? Now I can perform a good mathematical analysis onto my transformer, because these are my transformer parameters. If at all if my efficiency as you know that efficiency depends upon losses. If I want to compute these losses, then I am having all the parameters onto my single circuit. So if I make analysis of this circuit, then it means I am able to make analysis on my transformer. I hope my statement is clear to you people now. Okay. So now, as we have defined R2 dash and X2 dash. So what is R2 dash? It is the resistance of secondary winding as seen from primary winding. What is X2 dash? It is reactance of secondary winding as seen from primary. Reactance of secondary winding as seen from the primary. Okay. Now, let me say that if I2 square R2 is the amount of copper loss which was occurring on the secondary side. So I2 square R2 is what? It is the amount of copper loss which was on secondary. Yes or no? Because I2 is what? Secondary current. What is R2? Resistance of the secondary winding. So I2 square R2 is what? It is nothing but the copper loss on the secondary. Right? Now, what is that I want to do over here is, I want to develop an equivalent current, or I can say that equivalent resistance on the secondary, which will make same amount of copper loss on primary as well. My simple statement is, now since R2 was there on the secondary side, agreed. So I2 square R2 is the copper loss which was occurring on the secondary. Am I right? Now since I am transferring this component from secondary side to primary side, then the amount of loss that is occurring because of this resistance R2, that should not get changed. That should not get changed. This R2 should be able to produce same amount of copper loss which it was creating by its presence on secondary. So even though I am transferring this R2 from secondary to primary, the copper loss which is incurred because of the resistance R2, that should remain one and the same. So let me say that this I2 square R2 will be equal to, so when I am transferring this R2 from secondary to primary, so my R2 is where? Here. Am I right? So it is R2 dash. So it is nowhere R2 now. It is R2 dash. The current that flows onto this loop is the current I1. Am I clear? So the current that flows to this primary circuit is the current I1. So it means I2 square R2 should be equal to I1 square R2 dash. So this equation implies what is my R2 dash? R2 dash is equals to I2 square divided by I1 square into R2. So R2 dash as this. What is I2 by I1? You know, a transformation ratio. So transformation ratio K is being given by I1 by I2. I hope you remember this. But now this is not I1 by I2. It is an inverse ratio. I2 by I1. So I can write this as 1 by K whole square into R2. So this implies R dash will be equal to R2 divided by K square. One thing that the people need to remember over here, R2 is the resistance of secondary winding. This R2 exists in the system. Let me make my statement very clear. This R2, it is physically present in the circuit as a secondary winding resistance. What is R2 dash? It's a virtual component. R2 dash is a virtual component. R2 dash is not existing in a system. It is being defined, it is being framed to make analysis or mathematical analysis very simple. Am I clear? So it means R2 is a physical component which can be witnessed in a circuit. R2 dash is an hypothetical component which is being framed, which is being defined just to make mathematical analysis simpler. But R2 dash will not bring any change in the performance of a transformer. What R2 is doing, same thing R2 dash is doing. That is what this equal sign is able to say you. My R2 dash is equals to R2 divided by K square. It means your R2 dash is performing as if how R2 is performing on your secondary side. Okay. Similarly, if at all, if I want to compute my x2 dash, then similarly, I can say my x2 dash will be equal to x2 divided by k square. X2 divided by k square. Now, if you see this circuit, if you see this circuit, okay, if you see this circuit, what is that you're having? You're having the two resistors in series. One is R1, one more is R2 dash. Then what will be its equivalent resistance? Equivalent resistance is being given by RO1. What is RO1? RO1 is being defined as it is the total effective resistance as seen on primary. RO1 is called as effective resistance as seen on primary, right? Effective resistance as seen on primary. Then how I can define my RO1 now? Now since you are having two resistors in series, so what will be its effective? So please answer me in the group chat. What will be the effective resistance? I am having two resistance. One is R1, one more is R2 dash. So what is their effective? Yes, what is their effective? Yes, good. Good. So it should be RO1 is equals to R1 resistance of the primary winding plus the effective resistance of secondary winding as seen on primary. Effective resistance of secondary winding as seen on primary. So it is R1 plus R2 dash. Similarly, I would like to compute what is my X01. What is X01? It is the effective reactance as seen on primary. Okay, then how I can define my X01 now? So again, I am having two reactants in series, X1 and X2 dash. Then their effective will be equal to X1 plus X2 dash. Now it means what has happened? The same circuit, I can just define it like this. So I'll be having a primary winding, I'm having a secondary winding. Okay. Now I'm having only one resistance and one reactance, which is that I'm calling it as RO1 and XO1. Are you able to understand this? You are getting only one resistance and one reactance. That is effective resistance on primary, effective reactance on primary. So this is your applied voltage V1, and this is your load. Okay. Now, when I'm having the resistance and the reactance, what does this indicate about? Yes, effectively, what is this indicating? I'm having a resistance and I'm having a reactance. What is that effectively it is indicating? Please answer in the group chat. What it is indicating? I'm having a resistance in series with some reactance. Very good, Varsha. So this is indicating about the impedance, nothing but the effective impedance as seen on primary. Effective impedance as seen on primary. So effective impedance as seen on primary is being given by R01 plus J times that of X01. R01 plus J times that of X01. Understanding? So this is how it is when I want to transfer the parameters from my secondary side to the primary side. Now let me say that if at all, if I want to transfer the parameters from primary to secondary, I hope my statement is clear to you now. So here what you people have done, to start up with, you started with the simple transformer circuit having the parameters at their own positions. R1 X1 on primary, R2 X1 primary, sorry, R2 X1 secondary. Now, in order to make the mathematical analysis, you wanted to transfer the secondary components to primary side. So to do that, you first define your transformation ratio. So in case of a transformation ratio, you said that K is equals to V2 by V1 is equals to E2 by E1 is equals to N2 by N1 is equals to I1 by I2. Using this transformation ratio, you were just using this current relation. So K is equals to I1 by I2, right? Then you have just able to write an equation for what is the total copper loss in a transformer. Total copper loss in transformer is equals to sum of copper loss on primary winding plus the secondary winding. Then next you define two parameters, something called as R2 dash and X2 dash, which means these two are virtual components wherein R2 dash stands for the effective resistance of secondary winding as seen on primary. What is X2 dash? It is the effective reactance of secondary winding as seen on primary. So it means we would like to transfer the secondary parameters to primary. So after transferring this, you are able to see there is no secondary component over here. All the components have been transferred to the primary side. Okay, then next here you are able to compute, if I am saying that if I am transferring this resistance from secondary to primary, what should be its value? If I am transferring a component from secondary to primary, something called reactance, what should be its value? So this is what we are going to define. Am I right? So then I am able to simply compute the equation for X2 dash as, sorry, R2 dash as R2 divided by K square. Similarly, if I want to compute the value of X2 dash, then X2 dash has been defined as X2 divided by K square. So now since I am able to compute what is R2 dash, what is X2 dash, I am able to compute what is my R01. It is the effective resistance as seen on primary. What is X01? Effective resistance as seen on the primary side. Then the total impedance, what is being seen onto my complete network. Okay. Now, as a question has been raised over here, saying that as we have taken both resistance and reactance, okay, taken on primary side, whether the loss across it practically remains same. Yes, fairly speaking, the amount of loss it is not going to change. It's a reason, as I was explaining to you. So actually, X2 is there physically, R2 is there physically. But when you are writing this equal sign, what is that it means? It simply means that whatever the significance this X2 is having, X2 dash is being truncated, or X2 dash is being, I can say, virtually designed such that performance of the transformer will never get altered. How much loss is going to occur if X2 is there on secondary? Same amount of loss will occur when X2 dash is there on primary. Understanding? So the performance parameters such as your losses, your efficiency, voltage regulation, that will never get altered. That will never get altered. The only thing is that we are making this transition just to make a good, solid mathematical analysis. Okay, fine. Now similarly, if at all, if I want to transfer the parameters from my primary side to the secondary side, okay, so if at all, if I want to transfer the parameters from my primary side to the secondary side, then in that case, I just need to remember over here, moving ahead in the same process, okay, I can simply say that now I want something called as R1 dash, because I am transferring my R1 from the primary to secondary. So how I can define this R1 dash? Your R1 dash has been defined as K square times that of R1. K square times that of R1. So this is being derived in the same process. How we are able to derive the equation for your X2 dash and your R2 dash. Okay. So as we are able to define equation for these terms, so in the same manner, we are able to derive equation for your R1 dash is equals to K square times that of R1. On the same hand, I can write my X1 square as K square times of X1. K square times of X1. Now I need to compute what is my R02. What is R02? So it is the effective resistance as seen on secondary. R02 is effective resistance as seen on secondary. The effective resistance as seen on secondary is being given by, it is R1 dash plus the R2, because R2 is there on secondary. What has got added to the to your secondary resistance? Effective resistance of primary winding as seen on secondary. Effective resistance of primary winding as seen on secondary. Understanding? Similarly, X02. So your X02 is being defined as X1 dash plus the X2. So X2 is your secondary winding reactance. What is X1 dash? It is reactance of the primary winding as seen on secondary. Okay. Now since R02 and X02 is there, what will be your Z02? The total impedance of secondary winding. The total impedance of the secondary winding is being defined as R02 plus J times that of X02. Okay, so this is the same process that you people need to follow. If at all if you want to transfer any parameters from primary winding to secondary winding. Okay, now what is that? The point that the people need to remember is, if this is a transformer, okay, this is a transformer. If at all, if you are transferring any parameter from secondary to primary, then you have to multiply it by 1 by k square. That's what you are able to do it in the first iteration. When you wanted to transfer your R2 from secondary to primary, X2 from secondary to primary, you are multiplying it by 1 by k square. Am I right? Yes or no? Your R2 dash was what? 1 by k square times that of R2. What was the X2 dash? 1 by k square times that of X2. Am I right? Now, if at all, if you want to transfer any parameters from primary to secondary, so if this transition should happen, what is that you're doing? You are simply multiplying by k square. So it means, what is my R1 dash? R1 dash is k square times of R1. What is your X1 dash? X1 dash is k square times that of X1. So in short, what is that you people need to remember? Whenever I want to transfer any primary component to secondary, multiply that component by k square. Whenever I want to transfer any secondary component to primary side, multiply that secondary component by 1 by k square. Understanding? So this point you have to remember, because you'll be getting one sure shot numerical on this topic, on equivalent circuit of transformers. You will get one sure shot topic. Okay, so this is very important. This is very important. Fine. So is there any doubts on this topic?